Brienne here from Hooked on Homemade Happiness. Welcome back to my channel. Today in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to crochet the Tunisian reverse stitch. If you are brand new to Tunisian crochet, I have a video linked below just for you. So go ahead and check that video out first, and then come on back and we can crochet the Tunisian reverse stitch. For this stitch, I will be using worsted weight yarn and a J 6mm Tunisian crochet hook. This is a corded hook, but any Tunisian crochet hook will work for this project. So to get started with the reverse stitch, I'm going to get my yarn on my hook, and you can chain any number for this stitch. I'm going to start with a chain of 10 for this tutorial. And here is my starting chain of 10, and I'm going to be doing a Tunisian foundation row. So I'm going to start in the second chain from my hook. I'm going to insert my hook into the second chain in the back bump here, and then yarn over and pull up a loop. And I'm going to do that again in the next chain and all the way across. So for my forward pass, for my foundation row, I'm just going to be gathering stitches on my hook. Here's my last chain. You should have the same number of stitches on your hook as chains that you started with. So now for my return pass for my foundation row, I will chain 1 and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. I'm going to continue that all the way across my row, yarn over and pull through 2 loops until 1 loop remains, there we go, on my hook. And here's my last 2 loops. And there is my foundation row. Now for the reverse stitch. So we have this front loop here where we insert our hook for the Tunisian simple stitch. We are going to be inserting our hook in the loop behind. So there's a loop in the front and a loop in the back. We're going to be working into this back loop. So I'm going to kind of turn my work over a little bit. And as always, I have my first stitch on my hook, so I'm going to skip this first one. I'm going to go to this second loop here. So I'm going to turn my work over a bit, and you can see the vertical loop, vertical bar right there. So you can see where I've inserted my hook into that vertical bar on the back, and then yarn over and pull up a loop. I'm going to do that across my row, so you can keep your work kind of turned this way if that makes it easier. Here is that next vertical bar along the back. Insert your hook there and yarn over and pull up a loop. And then here is the next vertical bar. Insert my hook right there and yarn over and pull up a loop. We're going to do this all the way across the row, stopping before that edge stitch. Here's my next one here. Here's my next vertical loop along the back. I have one more here, and yarn over and pull up a loop. Now I have that edge stitch where I'm going to be inserting my hook into both of those loops along the side, and then yarn over and pull up a loop. And there we have our forward pass for row 2. And now we're just going to do a regular return pass. So I'm going to chain 1 and then yarn over and pull through 2 all the way across the row. So here you have the reverse stitch. We can do one more row together, but this is the pattern repeat for the reverse stitch. And you can see it is much easier now to see the stitches after our foundation row. So you can much easier see this vertical bar in the back where you're supposed to be inserting your hook. Kind of spread it apart a bit. There's that vertical bar right there. And then yarn over and pull up a loop. There's that vertical bar in the next stitch. And here's my next one. We're going to do that all the way across the row, continuing to insert the hook into that vertical bar on the back of your work. And you can see when you do that how it just pushes the rest of that stitch forward, and then that's what creates this bumpy, cool texture. So here's my edge stitch. Insert my hook into both of those side loops and pull up a loop. And now return pass. Chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2. All the way across until 1 loop remains. So that is the pattern repeat for the reverse stitch. It's a very easy stitch once you get the hang of finding that vertical bar on the back of your work. It really is a simple stitch, and it creates such a pretty texture. So go ahead and repeat that row 2 until your work is the length that you are wanting, and then come on back here and we will bind off our project. So here I have repeated that row a couple more times, and you can just see this kind of almost ribbed texture that this stitch creates. So now we're going to bind off our project, and we're just going to do a regular Tunisian bind off here. So I'm going to insert my hook into the vertical bar in the front. I'm going to pull up a loop and pull it through that vertical bar and through the loop on my hook to close up that stitch. I'm going to do that all the way across my row in each stitch just to close up these stitches and fasten off my work. And once you get to this edge stitch, do the edge stitch just like we have been doing throughout and pull that through. And there you have the Tunisian reverse stitch. I hope you enjoyed this stitch and find some fun projects to use it for. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.